Hello everyone, this is Master Trainer Brad, and I am here with you today to provide you 5 different singles that I think will be rising in price in the future. So, first things first, let's go with Ninetales here. Obsidian Flames, as everyone knows, is gone on the rotational list to be removed from the TCG and from actual active printing, as everyone knows. So because of that, Ninetales is one of the most popular cards in that set, excluding Charizards, that is. And this illustration rare has seen definitely a price improvement as people have started to pre-buy it some heading into April, the retirement. Of course, this is the 1 year chart. On the 1 year, it's up 34%. The low was here during the summer and last June, where it was about $15 as far as the 1 year low. And then by late September, it was hitting in the mid to low 30s with large volume spikes. And as I've said in previous videos, look for these volumes. These large volume spikes will help tell you where people are buying, right? And then as it came down to about $20, $21. Again, large volume spikes showing up, buying this card, okay? Came into its low of $20, of which now it's clearly rebounded nicely up into the 30s. But if you wanted a clean, near mint copy in English, you're looking at, $32, okay? And that's with free shipping for a gold star seller. So that's one thing I will say with some of these cards is some of these that are going into retirement, you will see that some of the prices have already rebounded, but it's a relatively cheaper card, right? It's under $30, so, or around $30, $32. The next card is a newer card. It's the Bulbasaur illustration rare, but it's got the Mega Evolution stamp on it. And don't confuse it with the one without the stamp, because they will definitely trade different, right? The one with the stamp is definitely seen as more rare, just simply because it's got the stamp, right? So it's going to have its own rates, its own prices, its own everything versus the one without a stamp, right? And this one has been selling off since its release. The low was over here, where it was very recently as low as like $12 and change for the near mint version of it, right? It started rebound now, and now it's in the mid 20s, right? You're looking at 25.75 currently for the gold star seller, if you would, as well as a hobby. Actually, this person's gold star in a hobby store, so definitely starting to see an increase in volume too, in purchasing volume. Last week, this card had 466 purchases. But of course, as you see, when this card first came out, it was closer to $50, right? So to have it sell all the way off down to 13, rebound some, kind of hang in that area, and then find its bottom and boom, rotate up. That's kind of what you're catching is on the rotation up. Could it rotate up a little bit more and then dump again back down to 12, 15? Sure, it could very easily, right? But it will have some bump in the road just because of reprints and everything else that will be happening in the future. But ultimately, I do think that this is not a bad spot to get one or two if that's kind of how you go. It is a popular card as far as just the illustration of the card itself. A lot of people loved how the Bulbasaur looks. So, but this is definitely a card. I've picked up multiple copies of it, and I do think that this card will be good for the future wise. The next one we have is the Articuno from Journey Together set. This is another card that used to be much more expensive. Over here last March of 2025, you're looking at closer to $40 card, right? Now, and by end of the summer last year, it was in the 19s, and then by January 1st this year, it was in the 14s, and it's starting to rebound some. We've definitely seen, again, as I've said in other videos, look for the volume. The increase in volume spikes. In other words, people are picking it up now, and they're starting to step in and starting to support the price more on this. This card is mid 15s for that one. Let me see where it was here for this volume spike. Was upper 17s, and then this volume spike right here was 18s, right? And that was last week. Right now, you're looking at closer to $19 if you would like this card. So definitely off its low of 14 and change, but definitely nowhere near the high. It could double and still not hit the high yet. And one of the things that I don't think people have fully considered yet, but this Articuno is part of Journey Together. Journey Together has been a set that still has been sold off hard. Once Journey Together starts to appreciate in value as well, this card will continue to be one of the gems of that set. So definitely keep an eye out for this. One of the things I do love about some of these promo cards is just the total artwork. Like here where you have Alakazam where he's holding the spoons and whatnot, kind of brings me back to almost like a 151 design. But it's just cool seeing him stand here. Now this card is a promo card. Originally when it first came out, it was closer to $20 in price. Then it fell all the way down to about $5 and change, to now rebounding to $8 if you want a near mint version of the card. Okay. If you look at volume-wise, we've definitely started seeing spike up in volume for this card now. And as we continue to go further and further into the Mega Evolution era, I think Alakazams and some of these cards will continue to increase in value and continue to be sought after. And you'll continue to see some of these spikes, right? And some of this is trying to buy the first bottoming, looking for a rebound and then expecting the rebound to kind of sell off. So right now, if you're buying it, expect this to be more likely a solid 3-year hold at least, at a minimum. If you're looking to sell it where it's multi-X, for example, if you're buying here at 8, I would expect it, if you're looking to get at least 2 to 3x out of the card, I would expect it to be at least 3 to 5 year hold for this card, right? If you're looking to flip, if you're a person that likes to flip it when you've got your money back out of it, where it's $16, $17, well, that might happen in the next few months, right? We'll just have to see what ultimately happens with this card, but definitely still has large buying pressure on it for the last several weeks, so we'll see where this guy ends up. But it is a card that's definitely more affordable. And my last card, the 5th card I'm pulling up, is a illustration rare, and it's part of a set that people don't really talk about even still right now, but has been reprinted through the ground, and that's a big part of why I have it on here for this Growlithe. Twilight Masquerade as a set has been printed and printed and printed into the ground. Okay? Doesn't matter if it's ETBs, if it's booster bundles, the set itself has been printed to high heaven. And so, with that being said, these card values will obviously fluctuate with print runs, right? As print runs happen, a lot of times individual cards will sell off because there's more of those cards now in the population, right? And out there free flowing. So, this is one card though that I personally just really like the illustration of it, especially if you're a dog person. You can definitely connect with this illustration. Definitely the fact that you can have, there's a lot of collectors that like the cards that have pairings, right? A different view of the same card. That's always very, very popular. And And as well as just, we've kind of seen the bottom of this card, it seemingly feels like. Last June it hit in the 13s and then eventually rebounded all the way up in October, hitting in the upper 18s before the reprints came and sold it back down by late November into the 13s again. But it held that 13 level, and it's spun off of that since then. Now you're looking at closer to 1661 if you'd like to buy the cheapest one. Otherwise, you're still looking at closer to in the 20s, right? $21. So, but this is definitely a card that you should definitely keep an eye on as far as part of your set wise. It's a card that, like I said, a lot of these cards that have sister cards or however you want to term it, sister cards, pairing cards, where you have two different views. But you need, the two cards, right, to pair together, are becoming very, very popular within Pokemon. And it's hard not to look at this picture, in my opinion. It's hard not to look at this picture and smile when you see effectively like a dog sitting there smiling up at you like this. So that is my pick number 5 as far as cards to watch and keep an eye out for. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and go ahead and subscribe if you like this content and would like to hear more about it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.